Hathaway. Justin Davis. Steve Fields. Lauren Foster. Lexi Dorset. Luis Suarez. Mark Ramsey. Matt Chapman. Melvin McDowell. Present. Meredith Swain. Present. Morgan Brown. Scott Burris. Reed Sheffield.
Present.
Reba Kindengu. Ryan Red. Sarah Howe. Sonia Engel. Lola Ajibulu. Valeria Middle. Cassie Norris. Chelsea Picardo. Jonathan Gonzalez. Laura Tilson. Madison Sampson. Rico Day. Rob Bain. Amy Downs. John Johnson.
Present.
Isaac Miller.
Present.
And quorum does exist. Before we begin the open forum on the campus-initiated proposals for tuition and fee increases, I would like to introduce our panel of administration. The first you will notice is Chancellor Linda P. Brady. The second is Vice Chancellor of Student Affairs, Dr. Cherry Callahan. And then the third is Vice Provost Alan Boyette. Also in our audience, we have various faculty and staff from other departments and places on campus, and I would like to give them a special greeting for coming and also let them know that we do thank you for your presence, as well as all guests that we have tonight. We are very glad that you were able to make it out to tonight's meeting. I will read off just a few guidelines before we begin tonight. I, John Johnston, am the chair of the meeting. I will be co-presenting the student tuition and fee increase proposals with student body president Isaac Miller. At the conclusion of this presentation, I will resume the chair of the meeting, at which point the audience, the gallery, may pose questions to the panel of administration, or to Isaac and myself, or to any other faculty and staff that may be more able to better appropriately answer those questions. And before we begin, I just want to remind the gallery and the audience of a few general housekeeping rules, just so that we can make sure that everyone is able to be on the same page and follow throughout the meeting as we go through. I do want to let everyone know that food is not allowed tonight. All questions must stay germane to the topic being discussed. Person's name, if please, for record-keeping purposes, if we could stand and state your name and maybe your affiliation with the community or the university, just so that we'll know better how to answer your questions. Questions are to be held until the joint presentation that Student Body President Isaac Miller and I will present. This presentation should take approximately 15 to 20 minutes, at which point we'll have the remainder of the time allotted for questions from the audience and gallery. I do want to let you know that direct questions can also be asked to the panel, as well as any administration that may be here that, again, would be better able to answer your question. And finally, any behavior that violates the proper rules of decorum, which we follow here, will be met initially with one warning, at which point, if the rules are violated again, we will ask you to leave and to be escorted out by either myself or someone that's dedicated to do so. So if there are no questions, for Senate is here. We will recess after the special presentation, and then we will return and begin the Senate meeting accordingly. So at this time, we will now begin with the open forum with Chancellor Linda P. Brady on the tuition fee increase proposals for academic year 2012 and 2013. This is President Isaac Miller.
Mic check!
Mic check!
Mic check!
Mic check!
We the students!
We the students!
Faculty
Order will be
staff,
obeyed.
Faculty staff!
and community at UNC-G.
A community at UNC-G!
Declare this meeting a sham.
Declare this meeting a sham!
Students are systematically
Shut
out of the decisions that impact us and our community.
that impact us and our community.
Let's
We
remove
have had
the
enough.
audience from the
We
gallery.
We have had enough. We have had
We
enough.
demand that there be no hikes
We demand that there be no hikes
in tuition,
in tuition
and that the money
being used
to gentrify the Glenwood neighborhood.
To gentrify the Glenwood neighborhood.
Be instead used. To close the university's budget gap.
To close the university's budget gap.
We invite you to join us.
We invite you to join us.
Occupy UNC-G.
Occupy UNC-G.
We invite you to listen.
We invite you to listen
To our stories tonight.
to our stories tonight.
We invite you to our meeting.
We invite you to our meeting
At 11:30 tomorrow.
at 11:30 tomorrow
To join in organizing a movement.
to join in organizing a movement
To defend our right to education.
to defend our right to education.
For 3 years,
For 3 years,
I've raised money
I've raised money
to come here.
to come here.
And now,
And now,
you raise tuition.
you raise
You
tuition.
wreck my ambitions.
You wreck my ambitions.
This was
was
the school of my dreams.
the school of my dreams.
But this
But this
is a nightmare.
is a nightmare.
My father
My father
is unemployed.
is unemployed.
My mother
My mother
is disabled.
is disabled.
They are now homeless.
Homeless.
I am a student.
I am a student.
I live on
I live on
$500.
$500.
Yes, ma'am.